is up? How you doing, guys? You tuning back in? What's up, Lex? What's up, Ethan? What's up, Mars? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Loud and clear? Beautiful. What's up, Morty? So, what has been happening? What has Bitcoin been doing? The last time I streamed was the 16th or 15th or something? Back over here somewhere. We haven't really done much but correct further. Not a whole lot has happened since last time. Music a little lousy. Oh, loud? Okay. I'll shoot it up. So out on the daily. So still magnetized to this 0.5 fib, 0.5 fib. It's still range bound as well because we've defined our current range with a high and a low, and we're just waiting for that resolution to this range. Just started a new week, so in Australia at least it's Monday morning. You guys are Sunday night in the US, so I think we should get our answer as to what happens outside of this range. Really, I don't have a strong bias toward either direction at this point. I need confirmation. I think my stance is if we lose this, obviously, I'll be short-term bearish. We'll be looking for supports. However, if we break this, I'll be short-term bullish again, or back on trend, you know. So this could be somewhat of a larger pivot point, potentially. So yeah, I mean, this is a big old fence. This 0.5 Fibonacci level is a fence to the market. I mean, no one can be totally sure, I believe, with too much conviction about which direction we're going next. Either way you cut it, there's something to do in either direction. If we go up from here, that's great. You know, the positions that you hold long are going to increase in value, of course, and you can potentially distribute some of that if you feel like we're going to hit that 50k target or 48k. And on the other hand, if we crash, or not crash, but if we correct further, that is an opportunity to make the positions that you do have larger, you know, increasing on the pullback, because there's no really telling. If we do pull back, it may be like among the last opportunities we get for some kind of discount on the current trend, because the trend is bullish in the macro sense. We've got a series of higher lows and higher highs that we're working with. That is an uptrend. Optimally, for the investor in me, I think it would be great to get something like this, like that, because you get another 12 months or 18 months of accumulation, time to build those positions. However, we could be facing a cycle maybe closer to this one here, where we had, you know, pullbacks along the way, yes. However, there was no new lows to deal with. There was no, you know, longer-term downtrend to correct the market. So this was a longer-term downtrend after we hit this high here. This was, you know, this trended down for some time. You know, just higher, like lower highs and lower lows over the course of like, that was like 12 months, I think. No, the structure was not quite a year, but almost a year, 260 days. That's a long time. And if you want to really treat it as a range, this whole area, this zone here, was an entire like reaccumulation opportunity for the people that missed this range down here. That way, treat the whole area as a range to buy in. That sets you up for the potential bull run out of it. Accumulating in this would have been like, your A grade opportunity to go long, right? And to invest. But it was only a short window compared to this one. So this was a lot more volatility as well. But like the B grade. But either way you cut it, even if you entirely missed A, building a position in B was still amazing. Like it was still an incredible run up, and to see those bags, really come up and appreciate value and profit. So that's how I kind of see this. Yeah, and like meanwhile, all of that happened below the previous all-time high. So all of this activity, you could have seen the whole thing as one giant accumulation zone. Like, yep, some buys might have been cheaper than others for sure, but if you just treat the whole thing as one big old accumulation, I'm kind of seeing this. Like, let's just move the goalposts. Let's go over this way. That, to me, relatively speaking, is a new accumulation zone. Low line. That's the next all-time high level to beat. Accumulation box. Everything below previous all-time high is an accumulation. Accumulation box here. What do you do below previous all-time highs? You build the position for these moments here. That moment there. That moment there. Yes, on Bitcoin, it's a diminishing return. And it's likely to happen again where, maybe we only get like a push. Either way, if you look at the opportunity, the biggest opportunity is in altcoins for gains, of course, for building positions. So, but yeah, like that's how I see the cycle. Like, it's a repeating pattern. It achieves an all-time high. It has a bear market. You accumulate the bear market, and then you catch the rally up. The beautiful thing is, I really hope that we do get like a larger correction that sends us down here for like a lot longer, because that is just more opportunity to be better prepared for upside. Like, who here is who at all would be ready to just go into a bull market, like, a new all-time high in the next couple of months? I know I would prefer to get more opportunity to make the position a lot larger. I'll just keep it simple. I just want to, because there is talk of like this being the last big opportunity, like life-changing money style bull market. essentially mostly for Bitcoin, but you know, there's I think in other cycles, it's the alts are still going to have great potential as they always tend to do since they've been around, right? Altcoins, but yeah, just that's how I see this. If we see another retracement, I don't think it's like anything to panic about. I think it's something to get excited about. Don't stress it. Like don't fear any. Even this was like a really worst case scenario outcome, and it happened. That did happen. Hit crypto, and that's the COVID-19 crash, right? It just came out of nowhere. Something like that may happen again. We may get something that we just did not see coming, and it resets the market back down to the low and testing the low. That would be incredible of an opportunity, and something that you would not want to waste. So instead of freaking out and not touching anything, take advantage of it. That's all I'm going to say. But look, other than that, I think realistically, yeah, potentially we do come out and see this previous high, which is about 50,000 or 48 to 50. And if that works out, the positions you did buy in Bitcoin or alts could be in that gain, that last little leg, which you could distribute. And then if there is that reset, you can, redeploy. That's just an idea, but yeah. Either way you play it, I don't think there's still a lot of optimism left in the market. A lot of anticipation for next year still. We've only got a few days left. We've almost closed out this year entirely. There's 2 weeks left of this year. Just think about that. What's up, Donnie? Thank you so much for the super chat. $10. Be prepared, not fearful. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you for the support. Someone CP. Out of the block, we've got Woo, WOO, up 3.6%. So at the moment, nothing has really flown out of the gate in the last 40 minutes of the daily candle. So not a great deal of impressive scalping opportunity. Sorry, I think I'm getting connection issues. I'll wait for it to clear. Let me know if I'm coming through a bit choppy. It's telling me that I'm coming through. ICP. ICP's seeing quite the downswing right now. Connection should be okay now. Remember to smash the like button, guys. We've got 30 people in the chat. What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, good. Thank you. Do I think that it could fall all the way to 28k? So from here, where we are, let me open up my different chart. This one might be a bit better because it's got price levels and things. So structurally speaking, we have the 25k highs, which was a point of, it's an SR level, support resistance level. We've tested it there as resistance, and here as support. We've got a 30k level. I'm just going to call out the round number 30 as our most recent major level of resistance, and we have not come back to see if that's going to hold as support. I think a pull back down to 30k wouldn't be, unnatural. I think that's quite a natural move for the market to make if it decides to correct from here. There is still a chance, I think, that we could reach, maybe even if it's just a wick, to this 786 level at $50,000. So between 48 and 50. So 48 would be the retest of this high over here. Just as a, there's still a chance that we could get that either in the next couple of weeks or the next month. But yeah, like I said earlier at the start of the stream, I want to see how it treats the range that it's currently in. Yeah. So yeah, dude, if it goes down to 30, I'm gonna be buying that up big time. If it takes off from here though, like it's no stress. Like it is what it is. You'll have to just ride what you have already. It's tough to call it right now. I mean, the downtrend is on on the shorter time frames, like the hourly and say like the 4 hours. The 4 hour, like it's broken character from this low here. That low right there is when it got its character change. As soon as it lost that low, it changed the market structure to getting lower highs and lower lows, basically. So right now, we're going to see if it continues to break structure to the downside by losing, these key levels, or whether it pivots back up and breaks back up to an uptrend. And that would happen when you beat this high here. That's the last point. That's the last major high on, say, like the 4 hour time frame. Is this one here. So we have to get above 43,400-ish, around that level, to really consider, that we're getting back on track to an uptrend on this time frame. So, okay. Sent me a love letter, Donnie. Okay. Two different Discord accounts. So I'll jump into your Discord soon, shortly, Donnie. Discuss where your thoughts are. So yeah, look, we're coming back down to test our previous deep tests here of support. I think that seems kind of obvious that we're getting that at the moment on the shorter time frames. Let's see how it treats it. I mean, we're definitely on the lower side of the range. This being the range here. Obviously, we're on the weaker side of it, the buying side. If you think that this range is going to hold, this would be like an opportunity to open longs. Now, the cool thing about opening a long at the bottom of a range is that the invalidation is nearby, So you see here, this is the low point. These sort of 3 wicks down here, these are the low points. If you were to go long when price gets in touch with, say, $41,000, your stop loss would exist somewhere in this region. So if you consider that as a long stop loss, you can see how close the invalidation is. Now, if you were to go short because you think that it's going to start breaking down, your point of invalidation is all the way up here, or even up here, which is a very expensive distance to get your invalidation. That's a long way. So you can see it is safer to take a long at the bottom of a range than it is to take a short, and vice versa. It's very expensive. you would have to really get a breakout to save yourself to go long at the top of a range and expect a breakout than to short the top of a range. Because if you short it, the distance of invalidation is only, a little ways up. It's a cheap entry for a short. Just see it. You see it like that, you'll save yourself a lot of heartache. Trading ranges like that. So ranges should be respected until they're broken. Now, markets spend most of their time in a range. Like here's an example here. Look at the time spent in this range here, like that, sort of like that area there. And look how short the move up was, like in time. So if you're measuring time, this was, just as an example, 23 days of range activity. Now, breakout and, appreciation on price, which is what a breakout trader wants, that only spent 4 days. So 4 days versus 23, 24 days, I would prefer to back that the price is going to respect resistances and respect supports until the breakout happens, and then that's during validation. So see the market that way. That is actually a strategy used by investors in markets as well. Like by the way, there is a really good channel that I'm going to share with you guys that has amazing trading and investing advice on it, like strategy. And let me find that for you. In Financial Wisdom. Okay. Put the link to that channel in the chat because this channel is gold. Like this is the best, like the most useful knowledge strategy, I would say, on trading and investing. So check that out, bookmark it, study up, because that is like a college degree right there for trade. Like if you ask me, like that's one of like the A grade channels for wisdom education, this kind of field. So check it out. He's even got I think a couple of Bitcoin videos, Bitcoin strategy videos in there, which he's back tested, how it would perform, that kind of thing, and it shows you the potential if you follow something like that and you have the patience to play it out. So ICP, by the way, someone was asking about it. It's in a bit of a downtrend at the moment, like a short-term downtrend. Loss. So let's go to the 1 minute chart. So if you're scalping, you're not looking for longs yet on ICP. Definitely not. What you need to see to start looking for longs on any asset is that you need to get above this yellow line. The yellow line is the 200 EMA. If this starts to curl around, you know that there's a consolidation. There's a level of support that the asset has found, and then it's going to come up and reattempt to get back up on top, just like it did over here. See, this is a perfect example. This is a mirror of what's what could potentially play out here. So this is the condition right there. That is the first sign that a pivot has happened, when price gets back up on top of this yellow line. So right now we're below it. You should not be looking for longs. You need that confirmation. Look at the inverse head and shoulders here, by the way. We get something like this on ICP, like something that'd be your first hint at a potential recovery. Like if this area gets bounced, but you need a lot of validation before you can get on board with longs, I would say, with that. So for now, like what makes me think it's going to find support is this, and also these lows here. These would be your levels for ICP for trying to figure out where a potential bounce is going to be. So that's about $10. The $10 support, I'll just to give you a round number. And then this 8, 970, let's call it $9.75 is like as a key point of support. So these are the two major supports. If it is able to continue to test here, maybe a double bottom like that, and then it starts to up. That could very well get lost, and it actually happens more down here. It just depends. It also depends a lot on Bitcoin and what Bitcoin decides to do. I think if Bitcoin loses these lows here, I don't doubt that the alt market is gonna see a bit of a reason to correct as well with Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin cuts the way, it leads the way, it leads the path. So that helps. ICP outlook. So keep your eye on the 200 EMA. You want to reclaim it as support. Now, depending on the time frame you're playing, like let's say you're playing the hourly chart, it's obviously going to be way above the 200 EMA. It's in a huge bull trend. Bit of a signal here is that you've actually come down and closed below this 20 EMA. This 20-hour EMA has been lost, and you're now threatening to come and test the cloud, this Ishimoku cloud. So if you lose that, you'll start heading out. You'll get a Kumo twist, which is where the cloud turns red. Longer term. So yeah, it's very time frame centric. Every time frame tells a different story. It just depends what you're trying to do. Are you trying to scalp, or are you trying to invest? Are you trying to swing trade? Yeah, it just depends. I jump across Donnie's channel. His approach to the market. What's up? How you doing, Donnie, if you're there?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just streaming.
Oh, hold on. I can barely hear you, buddy.
Oh, really? Yeah, it could
Yeah,
be
let me
my
turn you up.
connection.
I got you.
It could
I
be my
turned you up to
connection.
120.
Oh, is my mic like super low?
Yeah, I mean, I had the volume wide open on YouTube,
Yep.
so I could hear you, but you do fade in and out, like if you lean back from the mic.
Oh, okay. Yep. I think I've got a program that likes to reset my levels. That should fix it. There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, let me turn you down.
Yeah, is that better? Yeah, my mic.
There's the boom.
It's
There's the boom.
for some reason in Windows 11, when I turn my computer on, it defaults everything to 50%. And it doesn't even respect what I've put it on. Like before I turn my computer off, like let's say I've put it manually to 100% because I want everything just at 100 for the microphone, and yeah, it just completely overrides that when I reset my computer, puts everything to 50. It's really annoying. Anyway, so that should be a little better. Sorry about that, guys. The whole stream's probably been like half strength without me realizing.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, sorry about that, boys and girls. So what are you thinking lately with Bitcoin?
Well, after
I'm gonna watch your stream.
what you were showing earlier, when we talked last week with that 10% drop, and it's
Yes.
like, look at this candle here. So you know how I do deep dives, right? So I just started deep diving, and I started pulling candles and pulling patterns and playing with the stuff and using correlation with what I already do with GAN, because I truly believe cyclical is a thing, right? Things run in cycles.
Yeah.
So and it's not just me. I mean, we've got a great group in here. We hurt our brains last week working on this. But I sent you the overall picture. That's one of the pictures that goes in my Only GAN's pay room.
Cool.
But this whole picture right here, I pulled this whole cycle from over to your left.
Right, the last bull market. Yep.
So, and then if you take and you line it up with whatever we do from here to the end of the year, it's very, it's eye-opening, I would say. That's the way I would word it. How the timing of it, the word, I did not stretch it, I did not grow it, I did not do anything.
Okay,
we cut it, I cut it, and I drug it straight over. I did not do any resizing at all. I brought it straight over and dropped it straight down. I didn't even move it after I placed it where it's sitting right now. I have yet to move it. That's where I stopped it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. The way the vertical timings work, the way the price date that I had for $48,000 on, January 7th to January 10th, the run up. Now they're talking about possible rate cuts in March. You got your big pullback in May. Then you got your run up July. It's just funny how it all, fits. And it fits the 45s. It fits the fibs. It fits the circle. It fits everything on this GAN.
That's cool. Yeah, I like
it. And all
I
did was clip it and pull it.
Nice. Yeah, I see how.
Am I saying it's going to be 100%? No, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just something cool to look at, right?
It's cool to see how, like that ghost pattern seems to reflect, like to behave off specific lines on there, like an arcs. Like you've got this arc here where price is like battling to get above it, and then finally there's this big break at the double bottom.
You must be talking about back off the floor right here. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, and then resistance up at this line up here.
Yep.
And then another.
That would be your 382.
Yep. And then another like point of traffic up here at the the previous high. And then the way it slides down here, support on this angular line that comes down, this 45 degree.
One to one from the top side.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I would literally, I went in here to where this candle done the 10% pullback, right in this area right here, and that's where I pulled this from. That whole thing right there, and I just picked the whole thing up and I brought it over. No stretch, no skew, just bring it over and drop it down. Now you and I both know it won't work out exactly that way, right? But it's cool to see.
Definitely.
But,
so that
was talking about your sexy points, right? You were talking. I noticed a while ago you were talking about, where do we hold at? You had spots here, but look how many times it comes back to that 37,000 with this pullover, which is pulling it from the left. Look how many times it comes back to 37, 37, 37, 37, comes back down 37, then finally falls through. Now that'd be where you give me my $31,000. You don't give me my 31 now, you're gonna get my 31 over here
after the cycle. Yeah.
I'll get it one of these days.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, that's interesting. If it takes that path, but I'm guessing with that box, there could be other relationships that happen with all the different levels and arcs and everything. It could treat
we
it.
done we traded we set it up with a very bearish situation where we played a 53 and then fade away for the next year and a half. We've set it up where it comes in, it falls, it shoots up, and then we've used 3 or 4 different ones, but none of them really worked the chart the way this did.
Right.
Fit into the GAN, just fell right into the GAN. The one real bearish one did, but it wasn't even feasible because it's like a point of no return, right? I mean, it's like Bitcoin went away forever. I mean, we would be looking at $3,000 Bitcoin with that scenario. Not saying that's not possible either. Who knows what might happen in the world tomorrow? But
Right.
with just common sense, what we see, the amount of money that's coming into the market, this is not out of play. Out there again, I'm waiting on. I'm like you. I'm sitting here waiting on confirmation.
So what's that box called, dude? Is that a GAN box, or where do you find that? Because there's some people asking in the chat like what it is.
All right. So what this is, if you go to your tools, the second spot down, are you sharing my screen or are you doing yours?
Yeah, I'm sharing your screen. Yep. So it's under where you get the fibs. GAN box.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the way down, the first box you lay is the GAN square. And then you put the GAN box over. And I'll do a quick tutorial right quick to show you how.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's not hard. I mean, it takes a little practice to do. Let's find something I haven't built yet. Let's do. Have I done iota? No, I haven't done iota. We'll do iota.
Okay.
So, what I normally do is I go to my local low, wherever my local low is right here, and everybody is going to play with these differently because they want to see action happen real fast with it, right?
Right.
I'm working on 10-year charts and 20-year charts whenever you see my charts. So if you want to see something cool, the way it builds, let's do it from this big low right here. All right. So I got my magnet on, and then all I do is grab your GAN square.
Yep. Snap it to the low point.
All right. So the one thing I'm going to teach you right now, WD GAN, everything worked in the power of 45 and circles with 360. So whatever you build this chart to, this bottom right hand number has to be able to be divided by 45. Whether you do 45, 90, 180, whatever you do. So with this setup right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build what I call a 3-year chart. You're going to say, well, that's not 3 years. It's not. 1080 is not 3 years. But in WD GAN's terms, it wasn't 3 years either because it was 2.946 in time because he worked in degrees, not years and days. Okay.
I see.
So 1080 is not going to cover all that. So I've got to go on out. So we'll go 4 years. We'll do 1440, right?
Yeah.
All right. And then the next thing you want to do is you want your ratio, this top right hand number needs to be to the power of 1. So obviously we can't use 0.0001 because that would make the chart smaller. We need to go larger in order to be able to engulf the price, right? We don't care where it ends. So we'll go 0.001, right? So we're going to have 2 zeros and a 1. We don't care where it ends. All right, so then we'll look at that and see if that. So see, even that didn't cover the whole chart. So you just go up one more, you drop another 0. So I showed you iota is a tough one to do right there from 4 years out.
Yeah, that's massive.
Yeah, but it's not really. It's $14.
Right. It just sort of in the
Well, I'm
past.
just showing you
It's
how
a
to do
big.
it right quick.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah,
You just take your GAN box after that.
and then trace it on the top.
Now, when you first do this, you're going to have to turn grids on because it doesn't come with the grids. It's more like a bid box whenever you do it this way. And of course,
See.
mine's got unique colors and everything. But if you go into your settings and you enable, scroll down and enable angles, right? And then you could use one color, you could play with the colors and everything like that.
Cool.
But then you'll see, now you can see how the price rode these fibs and how vertical timing played a big role. You rode the arc, you broke out, you got above, you rode the 45, you got rejected. I mean, you see it all.
Yeah, wow,
And
what a
then what I've
pump.
been doing on my first one, like when I'm working, like when I've been working on all the charts that I've been building recently, I've just been using my local lows, right? And trying to find out which one of my charts have, done what. So if I come over here and I build all my charts from their recent local lows, right? And then once I build this chart, so like if I show you, let me show you this. We'll look at Bitcoin. We see Bitcoin from its low to where it is in time right now. It's not even made it to the 382 vertical, right? But then if we go look at, XRP built from its low, it's already past the 0.5 right now. And it's facing an arc. So it's trying to get off of this arc to get out and either explode or play down.
Yeah, damn, okay.
And then we've done the same thing. We've been doing it with a bunch of different coins. Like we looked at which one we pulled up the other day that Trago saw. Cody. You come over here and you look at Cody, right? Cody just came out of its low, right? And that's where we've been paying attention. Some of the stuff that we're trading right now, we're trading this stuff. All the ones that are here. We're not trading the stuff that's way over here. We're trading the alts that are here right now. We don't care about these dudes. We'll put a little money in them, right? But the ones that are just coming off the board that are going to give us the biggest gains, these are the ones that we're focusing on right now.
Cool. Yeah, because there's a lot of things out there that have really good potential that haven't even seen any action yet. Yeah.
Like Doge. Doge is like XRP. It's at the 0.5. But
Yeah.
Doge hasn't even made its move off the floor yet. We're still waiting on Doge to do its 20-cent run. What was another? Was Dot? Yeah, Polka Dot. Polka Dot's just now coming off the floor good.
Cool.
Where was Ethereum at? Oh, this was a cool one. The Eagle chart. We was getting ready to build that one, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah,
FET,
I like Eagle.
Look how FET came out, and look at this vertical time and how it hit this vertical time, and I said, pow, pow.
Wow. What? How did you? Oh, okay. It's just your screen. I'm getting massive gaps on the candles, where it's not. There's no resolution.
The lines.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I got to zoom in real tight so you can see it all. But yeah, I mean, it hit these vertical timings and it just gone, man. Gala, Dallas is coming off the floor with this play too. That's another one that I got into pretty quick. Of course, the ICP. I put the chart on ICP, and I was originally trying to hold on, to $8, and then it goes roll on by it like it's nothing. It's like it's trying to truck up to this $15 range before it gets a headache.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's happening, man?
Rick's got his YouTube in here, crazy.
What's up?
Rick's got his YouTube
I'm
in.
just streaming my YouTube in here, and Donnie's just covering his GAN stuff. Yeah.
What up, YouTube? What up, Rick? What up, Donnie?
Yeah, not much, man. Waiting to see what Bitcoin does next, really.
I hear you.
Yeah, this range is like, we've spent a little bit of time in it now, but macro structure's still there, so that's cool. Haven't lost anything really. It's just deciding what to do next.
It was a good weekend to get away from the charts, man. I spent some good time away from the charts, and I really didn't miss anything.
That's good. Yeah, you haven't missed anything. Yeah, nothing major has happened yet.
I'm always monitoring it, but I haven't been in front of this bitch. I've just been letting it do its thing. And yeah, I agree with you, man.
Rick, it'd be okay if I put an invite to my Discord in your
dude. Of course. Yeah. No worries.
So guys, if y'all want to
someone's been asking.
If y'all want to see more of these, I'm gonna put my link for Discord, my Discord in, and you're more than welcome to come check them out, ask questions. I try to help as many people learn.
See if it'll let me grab an invite. See chat.
And if you don't mind, Rick, can you put in a DM? Can you send me your YouTube stuff and your Discord stuff so that whenever I'm streaming, I can say, "Hey, check out Rick's."
Oh yeah, sure, man, not a problem. I don't know if my Discord link stays fresh, like as in like it'll change the code, like it'll become invalid after a while, but I'll send it anyway. Like I'll just.
Well, they'll be able to get it if they come check out your YouTube. They'll be able to get it from there, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Just YouTube search crypto down under, like that's how they would find me. But that's my Discord, and then this is my YouTube link. Let me just grab that. There.
Yeah, we're just now getting through this bad storm over here on the East Coast, and we've been dealing with power outages today, so I hadn't even been around much.
That's fair enough. You haven't, like I was saying, there's not much to be missing right now. Nothing too major has happened yet. Still range bound, still holding, $41,000. And we're going to just wait and see if this, because, stock market opens in what is it, like 12 hours from now, something like that. We're going to get that futures Monday. Yeah. Futures might be moving
green now.
Yeah.
For the record, yeah.
Oh,
that's a little green.
That's cool. So,
Rick, you have to come check us out in the morning, because I've got my YouTube running in the mornings. And I run most of the day. But we've been having a real good group. Some of the better traders are in here in the morning hours through the stock opening and normally through that first lunchtime push. I know that's about the time you get home from work. You should come hang out with us.
Yeah. I'll do that. Check it out. So that's probably like around 11 p.m. my time, something like that.
About 12 hours from now.
10 p.m. Yeah. So, man, check out the Dow Jones though. Last week's, busted through the previous all-time high. It's in price discovery. The Dow Jones index is in price discovery. The Nasdaq is knocking on the door of its all-time high. Very close.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, And then you got, the SPY. If the Dow and the Nasdaq lead the way, like they sort of cut the path and what's to come, then yeah, the S&P 500's not too far behind either. But, all are very similar because they all had that cup and handle type situation that has played out. But yeah, dude, the Nasdaq. Our community, a lot of people look to the S&P 500, but I think it's more correlated to the Nasdaq crypto because this is the tech-heavy. It doesn't have like the big slow companies that are pulling the S&P 500 down. Like that's why it's got a lower average or a bit more of a sluggish performance. Yeah. So
and the Dow Jones too. The Dow as well.
Yeah.
I would say it's more correlated to the Dow S&P.
Right. So yeah. Spend a lot of time looking at the S&P 500, but should be looking more at the Nasdaq, I think. Yeah. My connection is like coming and going, I think, with the stream. Sorry about that to anyone.
It's everybody, Rick. Everybody's doing it. It's YouTube, it's Discord, it's everything all at once, buddy. It's not just you. It's bad here in the United States. There's a lot of activity, cyber activity happening.
True. Okay. You got like blackouts and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah, understandable. So yeah, with the stock market looking so optimistic right now, there's like, I guess you could say it's in that phase of hope or into, the next chapter being optimism and then euphoria. You know what I mean? Like if you cut the cycle out like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So that should only be spelling good news for Bitcoin and crypto. If the big brother, being the stock market, is saying this, then it's a good sign. And then also the Fed, like I watched the FOMC meeting last night. I didn't get to watch it live, but I caught up with it. And they're like starting to ease off on the hawkishness. They're starting to become a little softer with their language and yeah, they're starting to get optimistic. So that's good. That's a good sign.
That was the most dovish he's been, man. That meeting was the most dovish he's been the whole time.
Yep, and the DXY bombed after it. It was like, it freaked out.
Chart was telling you it wanted to, man. I mean, it's been fucking flirting with this range for so long.
Yep. Yeah, look at that. Just huge drop on the DXY. So it'd be cool to see it revisit that 100 level and then lose it. Come back down. Yeah. But there's still some time to bake it out. See what next year brings us.
Should be fun, man.
Definitely. Yeah, it's an exciting year coming up for all markets, I feel.
Less than 16 weeks until the halving, right?
Yeah.
So I think less than 16.
Yeah. I was explaining earlier when I started my stream, I said, don't fear any drop. It'd just be the biggest gift if we got any kind of retracement, because it allows you more time to make your positions larger. Everything goes on a quick discount before we continue up. We've been having these discounts along the way since the start of this year, right? There's been opportunities to get in. If you see the overall trend as up, and you're playing it safe, you wait for these pullbacks. Like you wait for evidence that support was found on the retracement, and you open a position with a stop loss, or with points of invalidation. I know you've talked about that a lot, Crazy. You've said, every play you have has a point of invalidation where
it has to, man. That's what trading is. Trading is invalidation.
That's right. So
the problem is people think it's validation. That's the miscue.
Right.
You don't trade to be validated. You trade to be invalidated. Prove me wrong, market.
Right. Yeah, that's it. So it's like rather than thinking of your attack, you should be thinking about defense first. Yeah. And then
It's counter.
the rest just plays out. Yeah. Like let
Like
the
a counter.
market. Yeah. That's it. That's what I'm gonna really try and like start doing a lot more from now on, like into next year, is just protecting my drawdown, protecting the risk side, so that I don't lose what I have. I like, you know, I'm sick of doing that. I'm sick of giving it back, like after having a good week and then just getting too greedy and like, you know, not covering my risk side enough.
Amen, man.
So yeah.
I think that's a great thing to pursue.
Yeah, and make plays that are more patient as well, that need time to mature. Because I think if you try to play things too quickly, you get chopped out. Like you'll just get wiped out. Because you're like,
Especially now.
yeah, you're just exposing yourself to risk more frequently. So what are the odds that you lose money when you open yourself to risk more often? You have more chances to lose. And I guess the misguidance there is that you've got more chances to win by taking, you know, more risk, like more opportunities. But yeah, if you treat it like a flip side, you know, you don't want to. It's like playing Russian roulette. You know, the more times you pull the trigger, you're eventually gonna get the bullet. You know. So why would you do that with trading? Why would you pull the trigger every day? You know, when you can just pull it once and then, you know, have your points of invalidation and then just write and let it bake out. But yeah, there's probably a
You know,
better
it's-
analogy than that. But yeah,
You know what's a really good rule of thumb too that Luke reminded me of that I learned very early on, but Luke brought it up and I completely forgot about it. There's a rule that says if you the way you're trading, if you can't lose 7 out of 10 times and still be profitable, then you will not
Oh,
that
hell.
strategy is not sustainable.
Right, because your win rate isn't supposed to be. Well, it's very common to have a like a bad win rate. It's the risk ratio. It's how you treat the losers and it's how you treat the winners that matters. That's where you get your edge. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Let the winners
Yeah.
run and cut the losers swiftly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, totally. Yeah. The battle, like I mean, the biggest battle that I guess everyone faces in me is like, it's just the entry, getting that position, and getting it to where it is in the green, and then just letting it cook out, let it do its thing. But so many times, like, yeah, you just get wiped out entering at the wrong time too many times. It can get like costly, getting stopped out on repeat. So I guess something would be up with your entry criteria if that is happening often. Like you really have to assess how you're getting in.
Leverage too.
Yeah, and leverage. Yeah, if you've got too much leverage, you know, you reduce your tolerance for the noise. If you're high leveraged, you have zero
risk.
tolerance. Yeah,
And error too, man. The
Yeah.
higher you crank that
Margin
leverage
for
up,
error.
the smaller the margin of error. Exactly.
Exactly. Yep. So
Like
I'm
Rick, like you're always teaching people. The one thing I appreciate, what I always love about your street, is you always teach people support and resistance, right?
Yeah,
And I think that's, you know, and even if you go to the shorter time frames, trying to do, you know,
scalping. Yeah.
quick trades,
Yep.
you know, support and resistance are key things to understand. As long as you
Definitely.
can draw horizontal lines, you could win. You just got to be patient. Quit forcing
Definitely.
your trades.
That's it. Yep. And it's like trading to trend is your friend, you know? Like don't try to fight what the market is just like blindingly telling you. Like, you know, like blaringly obvious, like that the trend is up or down. Play to that, because that's an advantage. You know, if the market's giving you an advantage, take it.
Absolutely.
Don't try to work against it, you know.
Great
Kicking
point.
a top
Well
and a
said.
bottom, like Yeah, there are strategies to pick tops and bottoms, but it's like I think with that strategy you have to expect to stop out a few times. Like you're going to get it wrong a few times before one of them catches, and that's a different approach entirely. But yeah, like you're better off just trading to trend. You know, buy the pullbacks in an uptrend, buy the rallies in a downtrend. I mean, sell the rallies in a downtrend. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, like also the context of time frame is important, because like on the 1 minute chart, I'm just looking at ICP right now. On the 1 minute time frame, it's in a downtrend, there's no question about that. On the 5 minute, it's like, you know, it's lost the 200 EMA, it's getting lower lows, lower highs, so downtrend. 15 minute, it's in an uptrend, like it's coming to test the 200 EMA and see if it holds. And the hourly, like it's all like, yeah, the context matters, like, and you get, I suppose that's what's tricky in discords, is that a lot of people speak with no context about what they think, and you don't know what angle they're coming at, and it can be confusing, and it can actually make you like make bad decisions if you're assuming that you have to like assume their context. But yeah. That's
got to be tough. You should never trade off what you hear from somebody in Discord, either, in my opinion. You should learn how to look at the chart yourself, or on Twitter too, man. Anywhere you should just learn. You know, you're never gonna get anywhere just taking calls off Twitter. If you really want to take things seriously, you're not gonna get anywhere doing that shit, man. In my opinion, you got to learn the hard way. You know.
And I think if you've got serious money, like if you've got a lot of money that's important to you and you don't want to lose it, don't look at the 1, 5, 15 minute or 1 hour charts. They shouldn't even be on your list. 4 hours is the lowest time frame you should be messing with for any kind of guidance of direction, I feel. Because there's so many games on those lower time frames. That's where all the algorithms are chopping people up that are playing leverage. Like that is their domain, those small time frames. That's the noise, man. That's the battlefield. That's the front line. You're better off getting up in the ATC tower and getting an overview of the whole fucking battlefield from the higher time frames, and then you are golden. You know, like you've got more information up there. Like the calls are stronger. Like the influence of the indicators on the higher time frames are, you know, they are the key to what's happening. You know, they call the shots. These small time frame things, like you can make money, there's strategies, but it's harder. It's so much harder.
Donnie says it really well. He goes, he said it the other day, and it made me think. He said, nobody wants to trade higher time frames because all the activities on the lower time frames. It's all the actions there.
Right. All of the instant gratification, the TikTok vibe is down on the 1 minute chart. Yes. Yep. All the people with short attention spans and no patience play the 1 minute, 5 minute. I'm guilty of that. Like we've all been there, right?
Absolutely.
But it's like, okay, do I want to play this game like as a foot soldier on the front line, or do I want to play it like a commander, like a general, you know, waging the entire war? Like, you know, if you see it like that, that's where the big money is made, like from patience and treating it like a war instead of just a little skirmish, like a firefight or a battle. Like it's treat the whole thing. The cycle is where the power is. The opportunity lies in the bigger cycle. Yeah, and look, there's a happy medium too. Like with the swings, like the way you play it, you seem to play the swings really well.
Yeah,
and you can play them, and it's like a nice, comfortable compromise between the two.
Yeah, my spot is 100% long term, and I don't scalp or anything like that on spot. And then my trading is swing to long term. I will let a swing trade turn into a long term trade though if it wants to. If that's what the market wants it to do, then I'll let it do it.
Yeah, that's it. Don't cut the potential. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, the market's the boss, man. I'm just riding on the horse.
Right, yeah. You'll let it tell you rather than you tell it with your forecasts and your predictions and shit. Yeah.
Or my feelings.
It's good. Yes. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like it needs to go down, Rick.
yeah. That's right. Like the feeling when you're trying to look into the future, all you have is your feelings and your thoughts and like direction and your sentiment and the market sentiment. It's not cooked in yet. It's totally elusive. Like it's anything can really happen. But so what has more solidity to it and more of a solid answer, and that's the past. Like what's been baked onto the chart. What points are facts on the chart, like, and then work off those, and that's where your whole invalidation stuff comes in, and your confirmation keys. The market, like, if you let the market show you, you don't have to predict shit. You don't have to do anything. That's the cool thing about it. Yeah, let the strategy take the wheel rather than you trying to impose your will on it. Yeah.
Yep, because the market will
yeah,
the market will be irrational longer than you can stay solvent.
that's right. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I have to, like, these are like kind of mantras to me. Like I have to repeat them, otherwise I'll probably like forget them and maybe take actions that don't have them in mind. Like it's good to always instill these larger mindsets every so often.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, like I remember when I've walked away from the market and come back and I'm all rusty, and I can't I forget the important things. Like that's where I make mistakes, And if I try to get to,
you gotta hammer in those values and remind yourself. I'm the same way, man. Sometimes I gotta step back and be like, hey, get back to what you know. Get back to what works. Get back to what you know works.
That's it. So with trading and scalping, the benefit is you get results fast. Like you can walk away, and you can be all out and go to sleep, and that's cool. If you struggle sleeping because of your positions, then maybe that is a way for you to try and figure out a way to play that, because there are people that do that successfully. It's hard. It's way harder than investing. But yeah, for me, like drawdown doesn't scare me in the assets that I have confidence in for the long term. Like drawdown, it just means, okay, that that position needs work. Like I need to, as an investor, I can use the drawdown as opportunity to not only increase my position but buy more at cheaper prices, and not panic about what is on paper seen as a loss, as a lot of people see it. A lot of people see drawdown as, oh, you've just lost all this money, and nah, it's a temporary thing. Like it's to the impatient, it's uncomfortable. They'll cut it and they'll want to reposition, and the amount of times that you try to retime everything, and you make so many mistakes, and you'll psych yourself out, and you'll probably just quit. You get so frustrated with all the shuffling, like trying to reshuffle what you're doing all the time, and yeah. And this is why I like Crispy's approach is really good. He's got his eyes set on XLM, and he thinks he's got his outlook, and he's just convicted to it. So yeah, fine. Yeah,
conviction
exactly.
Goes a long way on spot, man.
Yeah, and the market will reward patience, provided you're in the right thing. But I guess the safest bet is Bitcoin. It's not the most exciting bet, but it's the safest, of course. But yeah, and then you got the alts. Like I really like Solana's potential. There's still a lot of fear about Solana too because of like regulation and whatnot.
Bitcoin going to test lows of the range right now.
Oh, yep. I see that. Nice. That's good. I don't mind the discounts, honestly.
Nor I. Yeah, you're getting to some critical levels here, though. You start scraping up against 40,000, 40,600. Like it's a little bit break of structure. Um, danger of breaking structure. You start sweeping 40,600, 40,500, and you look like you're rolling over to 37,000. You can definitely catch your bearings here, though. This would be a typical Bitcoin pickup right here and turn right on around for Monday. Wouldn't shock me at all. Typical Bitcoin move. Go ahead and test lows, take out people's stops.
Yep. Get people's sentiment flipped so that they make mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody rushing in with those shorts in at the bottom.
Oh, right now that's what people are doing, plugging in shorts. That's how I know you'll at least get a retest of 41.4 before if this thing really wants to roll over. They won't let shorts ride this thing all the way down unless it's really that washed.
This is what I was saying earlier. The unsophisticated will see a test of support as like time to panic, like because that maybe they hold bags and they're like, shit, the support's about to get lost, and then they capitulate and close it out. And like even the swing fail, like where price starts to move through support, they're like, yep, oh, here we go, it's gonna break down, this is where it crashes, you know. And then, you know, they've either sold or they've opened a short at support, basically. There's no confirmation of having lost the support. Maybe there's some wicks, but there's no candle closes below it. And they've opened a short at a low. Now, their point of invalidation runs all the way to the top of the range. So that's a very expensive stop loss. Like, so this is why going long at the bottom of a range is cheap. Because your stop loss, your point of invalidation is right next door. Like, it's right there. Like, it's just a little further, you know? Like, if you can identify when the market's doing a swing fail and like all the behaviors and activities of the market at those moments, and you can call it for what it is, and you call its bluff, basically. Because the market does, like, Bitcoin is so notorious for it. It swing fails so often. Like, it pushes just beyond a support, freaks everyone out, and then boom, like it just rips in the opposite direction. Like one happened here, here's one here. I'll circle the swing fails. There's one there. This is for YouTube. There's one up here. The all-time, well, the yearly high was a swing fail currently in this like shorter time frame. What else have we got? Let's see. Initial, like there's some smaller time frame ones. There's one here. That's a swing fail of this low. So this push here. That was to freak you out. And then it ripped positive, like real strong. Just here, there was one. You're swing failing this high. Tricking people to think that the resistance was broken and that we're climbing higher, you know. Let's see. Yeah, this is interesting. We're coming up to some supports. We'll see how it behaves. We'll see if it swing fails it or whether we actually get the breakdown, you know. And you can, cool thing is you can bring this out to other time frames, like 5 minute. Look at this swing fail here. That's a nasty one. Support, swing fail, freak everybody out, and then rip it in the opposite direction. Bit of one here, like market broke higher than this previous high. People think, yep, continuation up. Nah, correction, corrective wave all the way down. Here's another one, swing fail, bang, ripped it up in the opposite direction. So if that's going to happen again, watch for wick that pushes like maybe even to 40,000. You know, we could wick down at 40,000. People are going to panic like crazy. That could be a really nice long. That could be just judging purely based off the way Bitcoin behaves and treats supports and resistances.
Yeah, you could just come sweep all those lows and turn around. That'd be hilarious, man.
Exactly. Because people get onto the panic button, you know?
And there's a lot of
Pe-
stop losses there too, I'm sure, because that's a
Oh
broker
yeah,
structure.
for
They're taking
sure.
out 40,500. That's probably
Yep.
where a lot of longs are invalidated.
Yep. Nibbling through 40 so that people try and see, oh yeah, we're going to 38. We're going to go test 38, but it doesn't quite get down there. And then we reclaim the range again and we come back up over, you know, a couple of days. And before you know it, we're revisiting the highs again. Yeah. So yeah, I think I would back range activity over breakouts any day of the week. Breakouts are great, but don't count on them because they're less common. Supports and resistances get respected more often than they get broken. That's my opinion. That's what I think happens. Because in a breakout, that breakout only lasts, you know, for so long. It's the range. It's the big old boring range that, you know, has the activity. So this is why I reckon grid trading, if you understand the rules of grid trading, why that would be so profitable. Like if you, as long as you know when to turn the grid off and like when to say, yeah, this grid's been, you know, invalidated now. And
Donnie, the grid master.
yeah, playing grids, man. Bitcoin's full of
I'm
grids.
loving it right now because I'm loading my bags right now, man. This little dip just makes me smile.
Yeah,
Whenever
it's
we do bounce,
beautiful.
it
Yeah.
just prints more money for me.
And the cool thing is there's beauty in all outcomes when you think about it, because there's things to do. If you lose support and you move down, like, oh, awesome, discount. I love Bitcoin. I'll buy more. Like, I'm gonna, it's, you know, like your swing plays might be like, damn, you know, it's not achieving the targets that I had set out, but my big lion share long-term bag, I'm gonna add to that because it's gone on discount, and I'm gonna add to those stacks. Whereas if it holds support and you rip high, it's like, cool, my swings are gonna see some action, and I can, you know. So there's so many like good scenarios. No matter what's happening, man, there's things to do. There's positive things to do, positive action to take in all parts of the moves, man.
The beauty of a grid bot is you buy low and sell high. I mean, as
Yeah.
long as you've got the money to buy it down, even if it goes through where you want it to set it up. The biggest mistake most people make with grid bots is they don't know where the bottom of a structure is, and then they turn it on and they expect it just to last forever, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
they don't understand. Like I traded, so I use a grid bot kind of like Crazy does his manual trades, right? So I'll turn a grid bot on in the bottom of a range, and I'll cover myself 10 to the bottom, 10 to the top, right? That gives me 20% range. And then whenever the asset runs, I'll let it run up. And when it does its pullback and it reaches the next point that I'm going to call the next bounce point, right? Whatever profits it made through that range, I compound it back into the bot. I add that money right back into that grid bot. So I'm always compounding my money into it.
That's cool. I like that. Beautiful. And like it's okay if you're breaking a range, it's because you've got a breakout. Play the breakout. You know, turn the bot off and stop out whatever needs to get stopped out, and then whatever that loss is, at least you're now playing a breakout, which can be incredible too. So it makes up for that loss in a way. You know, like it, if not at least covers the damage that it, you know, breaks even on the damage. But there's
Well,
ways around that.
where people get a bad taste in their mouth with grid bots is they try building, something with 50 grids on a 7% range, and they've only got $100 in it, right? $150 in it. One, you're gonna make like no money because all your money's going to go to exchange fees. Two, what little money you do make, as soon as that asset makes a breakout one way or the other, up or down, you're
Yeah.
out of range, and then you got to throw more money at it to buy it down. So that's
Right.
why I always give myself 10% leeway either direction. That way, like when you have those quick pop ups, I make money all the way up, then it buys its way back in, and it gives it 20% back. It gives it, once it goes to the top of my range, it's got 20% to fail before I have
Yeah.
to worry about it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a chunky move, especially if you're doing it on like Bitcoin. That's a lot of correct, movement of of tolerance.
The 200 on a daily is always a good thing to have, or on the 4 hour. You're running the 200 on the daily or the 4 hour. Helps set up grids on where you want to be. How far you want to set your grids.
Yeah, it's I like that. I like that. Check. Okay, so on the 4 hour, we've got that Kumo twist, so that the Ichimoku cloud has been green for so long. Like, we've had all of this uptrend. It's been really good. Now we've twisted up and we're coming back down to see if the 200 EMA on the 4 hour chart is going to provide support, because we haven't actually visited the 200 EMA since mid-October. That's the last time we got a full penetration through it, and we just have not come back to touch it. That's how bullish we've been for the last 2 months, 2 solid months. It's been incredible. And if it uses it as a launch pad, that marries up with coming down to 40,000 and getting support. It marries up with a swing fail, getting that push to 40, because the previous low was 40,200. So if you get that, you get people panicking because it's pushing a little further. But there's reasons, there's some cases for a bounce at 40. The oscillators on the 4 hour chart, I would say they're quite cool by now, surely. MACD's down below the.
We haven't even touched the 50 in this move either. You go to the daily time frame, we haven't touched the 50 on the daily. Not have we not touched the 200. We didn't even come back to touch the 50 yet.
On the daily, the stochastic RSI is so oversold. Like it's quite low. Like this is as low as the stochastic got in the August drop. You know how we dropped from like those 30 highs all the way back down to 25? Yeah, it's very similar to that. So we're on the low side stochastically speaking on the daily. And then on the 4 hour, I think it's also like, it's also like real pushed down. So it's sold off a lot. The 1 hour is pushed down too. Let's see what the weekly says. The weekly's elevated. We've crossed up, like we've crossed down from the overbought area. Now the cool thing about that is you can get a cross down and it can still all be the part of the same uptrend. And it doesn't necessarily spell the end of the of that trend. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think this week is gonna be real exciting to see, because we're in the last couple of weeks of the year now. Christmas is upon us. People are feeling, it's silly season, so to speak.
Christmas rally.
Yeah, could get one. I mean, some people say we've already had it. Like we just got it early, in late November, early December. We've had this like the so-called Santa rally, but yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So that's the beauty of not making predictions, but just making strategy based on what price does, because you've defined a high and you've defined a low. If we hold the low, I will get long on Bitcoin. You know, that's because that's a double bottom. Bam, bam. You know, you've touched that out and you're probably going to come back up and test either this high here or these, you know, these smaller highs, or maybe even this high up here. So that's a trade in itself right there. The point of failure, the stop loss is nice and close. So it's, you know, depending how you play it, it doesn't have to be expensive if you're wrong. So that'd be my play for if we get a bounce at the range. The range is still kind of young. It's not that old. And if we lose it, that could be you could catch a short that runs from 40 down to say 38 as the next leg, right? That's another point of what I would do if. So my parameters are set, and so should everyone's. You know, this is parameter for support. This is our parameter for resistance up here. Just as there's like, you know, there's sub ranges within that too, like shorter time frames. These are highs here. These are some lows over here. You know, this is another range that exists. We just lost this range, you know? So now we're coming out to the broader range. If we lose that, then it becomes this broader range. And then if we lose that, this maybe gets treated as a bigger range again, you know? And that way I don't have to say, oh, I think it's going up or I think it's going to come down. I don't care what it does, because I've got actions to take when it does it. You know, I can perform actions when it meets the criteria. And this is the difference between making predictions and having a strategy. Predictions is going into a casino and rolling the dice. That's predictions. That's where predictions will get you. You may as well be gambling, you know? It's okay to have it's okay to have behavior of an asset and playing to its behavior, to its, you know, if it does this, it supports on like an often, then okay, that's a probability play. Like, you know, it's a higher probability of finding support here because the trend has been strong. Blah 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 blah. That's okay. That's cool. That does err on the side of prediction as well, but it's the strategy, dude. That's the primary thing that you need to focus is strategy and what are you doing? Where are you? Where's your invalidations? Where's your confirmations? And what are you doing with them? At all times, every time. Because if you don't have that defined, you're gonna lose money, I reckon. Like that, if you don't have stop losses and in points of invalidation, then you may as well just, you know, pull your money out of crypto and go to the casino kind of thing. Because it's just chance. You're just playing with chance then. Anyway, I think that should pretty much cover this stream. That's been a good hour and a half. Thank you to everyone that tuned in and smashed up the like button. Hopefully it's been a good stream for you guys. I'll try and stream again soon. Definitely, if we get some kind of activity outside of this orange box here, this Bitcoin's current range, then there'll be a lot more exciting things to talk about. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.